Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today I want to pour some flowers and I have here the Oriental Holographic Coaster Mold from MoldsandShapes, and I'm quite curious about it because as you know, I love the holographic effects in molds and I finally received my coaster mold. So I'm mixing my white, so I'm taking you with me a little bit. I just start with 4 drops for my white. I didn't take any temperature. I didn't weigh my resin, so you see what I'm doing. I just go by feeling. I'm using here the Mastercast resin, and at the moment, because it's still rather cold in Belgium, I put my resin on the heating system so I avoid those ugly air bubbles which you have in winter, and your resin behaves also a little bit strange in winter. So I just warm it up a little bit from beginning, and after I mixed my resin I just started pouring. So here's my white, and you saw I added 1 more drop, and I also added some of the Interference Pearl mica powder from Etta Art. The pigment drops are also from Etta Art. And now I'm just pouring my clear resin into the mold. I try to be very careful that I'm not overfilling my mold, so I start with a little bit and then I just see that I pour just below the rim. With the first coaster you will see it in a few seconds. I have a little bit too much in there, so I had to take my popsicle stick and take some of the resin out. But you will see it here while I'm just pouring my resin into the mold. In between, I always look here from the side if there is enough resin in my mold or if there's too much. And like you can see in the first coaster, for you when you watch it on the right side, the bottom one, where I'm now in, there's a little bit too much resin. So first of all, I'm trying to take care of the air bubbles which may be trapped at the sides. Because of the design of the mold, it's easily that there are some air bubbles at the sides. In my last video, I had, I think, the round cascade mold from MoldsandShapes. I didn't go along the edges, and I had some of these ugly air bubbles in my resin pieces, so I was a little bit annoyed with myself because I just completely forgot about taking care about it. But I guess it happens to you guys also, and yeah, it is as it is. I always say it's handmade, and we are all human beings, and none of us is 100% perfect. So yeah, things like this are happening. But this time I took really good care of it. Now I'm just taking my little torch. When you use a torch, please be very careful, just that you are not burning your mold or your resin. So go in very fast motions above your resin piece and try to avoid the silicone of your mold. So there you saw that I just took a little bit out of my mold from the clear resin. And now I'm just starting with my resin inks, and I've chosen the Campari. This is an awesome yellow-orange tone from Etta Art. This will be in the center. I just need to take care that I clean my bottles. That's what I'm doing in the background, just with a paper towel, so I don't have any crusts on, on my resin. That's why I'm taking care of it with my bottles. So there's the Campari, and I'm just dropping 2 drops into the center. Then I'm taking the sandalwood, and this is a resin ink from Octopus. And I'm going where those tips are of the Oriental mold. And I almost forgot one. And then I'm taking the espresso, and I'm just putting 1 drop in the center where my yellow is. And this I'm gonna repeat for all the coasters, just the sandalwood where the tips are. It's also a quite nice brown tone, and then the espresso into the center. There you go. And then I thought, the brown is behaving a little bit funny, so I made a little bit a flower design in the center. So yeah, that I a little bit divined my center bit. This is what I'm doing for all the 4 coasters, because I like to have a rather similar design for all the 4 coasters. This is of course a matter of preference. I just like to have a set, and then I'm just swirling the outside a little bit. You see it there. So that I have a nice blending of colors, and I hope it's not gonna be too brownish, but mostly with the resin inks, the backside is looking a little bit different, so the colors are not as intensive, of course, like on the pouring side. But I was a little bit afraid that my colors would get a little bit too dark, but yeah, we will see. And now I'm just doing my spiral like I'm always doing, and my cup was a little bit full for the first 2 coasters, so when I started doing my spiral, I found that in the center bit a little bit too much resin came out. So don't do this mistake. Better divide your white in 2 little cups, or use a little bit a bigger cup, so that you have more stability in pouring your resin. But well, it is as it is. My piece was poured, so, and because it's so dark, I could not really see what was happening with my center. So yeah, I needed to wait and see for the next day. Now I'm just making my flower design, and I'm shaping like 8 petals, always from the outside to the inside, where the bows are. I think you see it. And then I drag my popsicle stick, or not the popsicle stick, the dotting tool, from the inside to the outside where those tips are, and not the bows of the Oriental mold. I think you know what I mean. And that's what I'm doing, and then I'm giving it a little swirl in the center. It's just a normal and easy way of doing the flowers. This is really my preference, and that's why I'm using a lot the spiral for my flowers. But of course, this is also up to everyone else what they do. And now there's a little time lapse how I'm shaping my flowers, because it just keeps on repeating, and otherwise my video might be a little bit too long. So my pour is practically done, and here's a close-up, and I must say, I thought, oh my god, it's quite brown. But yeah, like I said, I need to wait and see for the next day, and to see how the colors blended on the other side. But there I thought it looked a little bit dirty, and I didn't know what to expect. But fingers crossed, and yeah, this is now the next day. It's 24 hours later. I really waited one full day, because like I said, it's cold, and I even wanted the master cast to be really fully hardened. And yeah, that's why I waited so long. Normally with a master cast you can demold after 12 hours, but I waited the full 24 hours. And you see they are easily popping out of the mold. It's easy to demold those coasters out of the Oriental mold, and now I'm very curious. So let's have a look, and I'm also curious about the holographic effect. And look at this. It's very beautiful. I love the holographic effect, and I love the flower, even though the center is a little bit blobby, but it looks like the center is still folded in. So it's not a bad blobby, so I'm quite happy about it. This is the second one, and I think this was the third coaster I've poured, and I'm very happy with this one. This really looks very beautiful, and I think it's my favorite one of the four, I can already say. And next one, this is the one I poured secondly, and there I also have this little blobby in the center, but again, it looks really like the flower is folding, and I really like it. And what do you think about the color blending? I really love this. I think this pour has a lot of depth and a very great 3D effect. And this is the last one, and I also like this very, very much. So there is gonna be an end video, like always, where you can see all four coasters in detail. And I'm very curious what's your favorite. And now you also see the holographic effect, and you really see the 3D effect of these. With this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and take care, guys. Bye bye.